Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we're in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Métis, Ojibwe, Cree, Dakota people, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40, First Nation in the Treaty 3 territory. My name is Ron Merritt. I'll be your chairperson this morning. To introduce the panel member to my left is Linda McVie, and via Zoom, also a panel member is Carrie Linkletter. Our recording secretary is Mr. Stephen Lunn, and representing the city from the assessment department is Jennifer Nichols via Zoom. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note that you will be placed in the waiting room until the property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted to the meeting. Please follow along by the City of Winnipeg Board of Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you to the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak in respects to your property. Once the hearing has been concluded, you may leave the meeting. We'll be hearing application for the revision of the assessment rule according to the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested has been described in each application, and we will limit discussions to those matters. The statements that the applicants or the assessor make at the hearing are sworn testimony, and anybody speaking in these matters must be sworn in. Please be advised that comparisons of assessments of other properties are not considered evidence of market value by the board. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by City Council and is independent of it, along with the city administration. We make our decisions based on the evidence provided at the hearing and issue a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that board decision in respect to application may be appealed to the manager of a municipal board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to court or Queen bench if the matter pertains to application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included in the board's order. In respect to the hearing this morning, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. It will then be the assessor's testimony, followed by questions and the other applicant may have, and then it will be the applicant's testimony, followed by questions. Each party will have the opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all evidence about the application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket this morning. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decision. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live stream recorded and will be part of the public record. Please mute your cell phones if you have them. We will now deal with the matters that we have in front of us. So we'll ask our secretary to swear in the assessor.
Madam Assessor, please state your full name.
Jennifer Nichols.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, the first property that we're going to deal with is number 10 Woodcroft Bay. So we'll have you sworn in or affirmed, either one. Mr.
Applicant, please state your full name. You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Well, good morning. And as I've stated, we'll first hear from the assessor and they'll take us through your property in regards to the evaluation, and then you may ask questions along with the panel members. Then it'll be your opportunity. So, Ms. Nichols, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you.
Take us through this property.
Okay, so 10 Woodcroft Bay. Roll number is 14-095-06-7900. This property is in Tyndall Park. It is a 2-1-story built in 1986. Living area 1,974 square feet with a full basement, which is finished. 2 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, 1 shower, air conditioning, and a built-in attached garage. Assessed lot area is 11,296 square feet. And this property does have a retention pond adjacent land influence. The current 2023 assessment value is $420,000. So the first comparable number 1, is actually also on Woodcroft. It's 34 Woodcroft Bay, a 2-story built in 1987 with a small effective age of 1992. 2,138 square feet. So this property is a little bit larger than the subject with a full basement, which is finished, and a multiple attached garage. This property has a lot area of 10,555 square feet and a couple of land influences, but it does also have the retention pond adjacent influence, the same as the subject. And so the time adjusted sale price for 34 Woodcroft Bay is $483,800. Comparable number 2 is 14 Woodcroft Bay, a 2-story built in 1985. This property has an effective year built of 1,784 square feet of living area. So this property is smaller than the subject. Full basement, which is finished, a single attached garage. And this property also has a sunroom. Lot area, 12,194 square feet. Again, this property has retention pond adjacent land influence. And the time adjusted sale price for 14 Woodcroft Bay is $442,000. Comparable number 3, 38 Woodcroft Bay, 2-story built in 1987. No effective year built for this property. Living area, 2,207 square feet. A full basement, which is not finished. So in comparison to the subject's finished basement. Multiple attached garage, lot area of 10,719 square feet. And this property also has retention pond adjacent to the land influence. So 38 Woodcroft Bay sold for $488,400. And finally, comparable number 4, 18 Cutler Bay. 2-story built in 1989. No effective year built for this property. Living area of 1,817 square feet. This property is smaller than the subject. Full basement, which is finished. Multiple attached garage. Lot size of 9,728 square feet. This property has a land influence of retention pond influence as opposed to retention pond adjacent, but still has that retention pond nearby. And the time adjusted sale price for 18 Cutler Bay was $444,600. So looking at the sale prices for the comparable properties that I was able to find, the sale prices range from $442,000 up to $488,400. And the subject property is assessed at $420,000. So I do feel that the assessed value is supported by the comparable sales. Thank you.
I thank you. Questions of the assessor?
Yeah, you compared my house to, I guess, first of all, I wanted to look at the assessment of my house. The basement's not a full finished basement. And there was an assessor come through the house. It's half, because there's a drop ceiling in the living room. There's not enough headspace for a finished basement. So the people prior to me sectioned that off, so it's half of the basement is finished.
Yeah, so the finished basement characteristic on the comparable sales report doesn't show the square footage or the amount of basement that is finished. It's just basically yes or no. Is there some portion of the basement that is finished?
And then the listing on my house says 2 full baths, and I don't have that. I haven't had that since basically I moved in. It's the ensuite is just 4 walls. It's been gutted. There's nothing there. There's no fixtures there. The basement bathroom has a tub and a sink that leaks. I don't use it. There's no toilet, and the main floor has a half bath. The upstairs main bath just has a toilet.
Okay, so the bathroom, the ensuite is in the process of being renovated?
It's been sitting for about 10 years.
Okay,
I don't
so
have funds. I hired contractors, and I had a budget set aside when I purchased the house, and I spent $55,000 trying to get my bathrooms redone, and they're not. They weren't done adequately, and I've got leaks, so everything's shut off.
right. Okay, so yeah, if we have some errors on the record, I can definitely update it.
And I showed that to the assessor when they came through before, and nothing has changed. I submitted all the pictures again. I took the pictures.
Okay, I think you're getting into sort of your presentation, so.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Just wanted to.
Do you have any questions of the assessor, what you just heard from the assessor?
Just that the comparables are all pristine. I saw the listings, and I wish my house looked like that.
Ms. Nichols?
Sorry, was that a question?
No.
No? Anything
Okay.
further?
No.
All right. Ms. McFadden, questions of the assessor?
No, I don't have any further questions.
Ms. Linkletter, questions?
I have no questions at this time. Thank you.
Ms. Nichols, I see that you have some older sales for comparable 3 and 4, and the most current ones are 1 and 2. Have you noticed any increase in regards to the prices increasing at all?
Between 2018 and 2020?
Yes.
Yeah, the market has definitely been going up, especially after COVID. We did see some kind of more drastic increases. But the reason that I've chosen some older sales today is because I did want to capture the value of the retention fund. So the comparables that I have chosen are for the most part quite dated and haven't had what comparable 4, for example, had no renovations, like from the listing, as far as I could tell, no renovations. Comparable 3 had maybe some flooring replaced, but it was pretty dated. I think comparable 2 was probably the one that had the most renovations. There was some renovation to the kitchen and 1 bathroom in that comparable. And again, comparable 1 had very little in terms of renovation, maybe just some flooring had been replaced. So the comparables that I chose are comparable in terms of renovation, and in terms of the location. Being on the retention pond is definitely a positive influence. And I would also note that the subject property is already assessed at a lower value than any of the sales that I was able to find.
I thank you.
I have
Madame?
one more question. When you go through the back area of the pond and look at the back yards of these houses as well, they have finished areas around the retention pond with gravel and pads down, and I have swamp. I have reeds, and the neighbors don't want to clear that up with me. So our area is a little bit different on the our edge of the pond, from the edge of Woodcroft all the way up to about 34 Woodcroft.
All right. We're ready for your presentation, Madame.
So I'm simply here because my house is incomplete. I haven't changed anything since the assessor came through. I haven't had the funds. I had a back injury at work, so I'm living with that with unusable spaces, and I simply can't sell it the way it is. So I'm just waiting for things to get a little bit better where I can save money and try again to get some carpenters in there to try to get my bathrooms done so I can live in peace again. I've been living in this for a long time and I haven't been able to use those spaces, and that's simply my argument.
For the record, what do you think the assessment should be for your property?
I would be fine with something closer to the 400,000 mark, because the neighbors next door had to sell their house as a gut, and it went for 2/3 of the property value until the work was completed.
I thank you. Ms. Nichols, questions of the applicant?
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. McIntyre? Ms. McFadden, sorry.
How long have you owned this house?
Purchased in 90, since 2005.
Thank you, that's all that I have.
Thank you. Ms. Linkletter?
I have no questions, thank you.
You had talked in your last statement here that the house compares to recent market for 18 White Pine Place, and it was listed at about $395. So that's where you're going with the 400,000.
My house, before I purchased my house, it had been sitting vacant for over 2 years. They couldn't sell it because it was so dated, and I had a hard time getting my offer through because the people felt it should be worth more, and it should be worth more if the renovations are done. But to not have usable bathrooms, I mean, bathroom renovations are very expensive. I just can't afford it right now.
How long have you been in your house?
I've been in my house since 2005.
And these are, the most recent renovations that you've done?
They've stayed, yeah. I thought I had a budget set aside. I had quotes at that time. And then when I had these people come through that call themselves carpenters, I ended up with a mess. I have leaks in wherever they put pipe, there's leaks. And all the walls have to be ripped open in the ceiling now to try to see what we can do, and probably replace it all with PEX pipe is what I'm thinking.
So was it listed for sale there?
It was my house at the time, but I never listed my house when I moved in. Again, I have family that are agents, and they said you can't sell this house like this. You're going to take a loss.
Ms. Nichols, summation if you wish.
No, I think I've said everything.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Anything further you wish to add?
No.
No.
Nope, because they've come to the house before and nothing's changed, so it's all on record. I don't have anything else to add. I took pictures again last week and sent them.
Okay. I thank you for coming this morning, and thank you for your presentation and results very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next property will go to 142 Birch Bark Bay. If they're present.
We currently have no one present.
Okay. What we're going to probably do then is for this item, we shall be moving it to the end of the docket, and we will deal with that at the very end of the docket. All right. Okay. We're going to go to 111 St. Cross Street. we'll have you come forward. We'll either get you affirmed or sworn in, either one, whatever you wish.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name. Yes. Please state your full name. Your full name, please. Your name.
My name is Gabriel Sagarchan.
You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, sir.
Hello.
We'll first hear from the assessor. Ms. Nichols, whenever you're ready, you can take us through this property, and the floor is yours. Ms. Nichols, do you just want to read the roll number, et cetera, and then we'll deal with, there is a recommendation. So, Ms. Nichols?
Okay, so 111 St. Cross Street, roll number is 140525940000. And so I had actually wanted to contact the owner of this property, although we weren't able to talk before the hearing. But before making a recommendation, I did just want to clarify something with the owner. Would that be okay?
Have you contacted the applicant in regards to the record? Or is this?
No, I had left a voice message, but I didn't hear back.
Could you just explain that to the applicant?
Sorry, explain.
Is there a recommendation on here?
So I was wanting to make a recommendation, but before I did that, I just wanted to double check the condition of the home with the applicant.
All right. I think under the circumstances, then I think you probably have to do the presentation, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Take us through this property.
Okay. So 111 St. Cross Street, a 1 3/4 story home built in 1910, 1,360 square feet of living area, full part area basement, which is finished, air conditioning, and a multiple detached garage. Assessed lot size is 5,153 square feet. 2023 assessment value is currently $237,000. So the first comparable one is 117 Bannerman Avenue. This property is also a 1 3/4 story, built in 1908. A small effective year built of 1918. Living area 1,300 square feet, full basement, which is not finished. Multiple detached garage. Lot area of 2,874 square feet, so smaller than the subject lot size. And this property had a time adjusted sale price of $214,500. Comparable number 2, 157 Inkster Boulevard, also a 1 3/4 story built in 1907, 1,336 square feet with a full basement, which is finished, same as the subject. Detached single car garage for this property as opposed to multiple. Lot size of 2,999 square feet, smaller than the subject again. And the time adjusted sale price for 157 Inkster Boulevard was $198,400. Comparable number 3, 93 Lansdowne Avenue, 1 3/4 story, built in 1913 with an effective age of 1923, 1,388 square feet with a full part area basement, which is not finished, as opposed to the subject's finished basement. Multiple detached garage, lot size of 2,999 square feet, again smaller than the subject. And the time adjusted sale price for 93 Lansdowne Avenue was $231,600. And finally, comparable 4, 103 Atlantic Avenue. Again, a 1 3/4 story built in 1912 with an effective age of 1987. So this is the most renovated of the comparables. 1,344 square feet with a full part area basement, which is finished. No detached garage, as opposed to the multiple detached garage of the subject property. Lot area of 3,053 square feet, smaller than the subject again. And the time adjusted sale price for 103 Atlantic Avenue was $245,000. So the sale prices at the comparables range from 198,400 up to 245,000, really depending on the condition of the property. And so for now, I'm just going to, maintain the assessment at 237,000. Thank you.
I thank you. Sir, do you have any questions in regard to what you just heard from the assessor?
I don't have any questions. I want to thank the assessor.
All right. Mr. McPadden?
I don't have any further questions.
Mr. Linklater?
The only question I have is in regards to the comparables, Ms. Nichols, because this property is in St. John's Park, and all your comparables were in Lexington. So you had no sales at all in the area of the subject property?
Yeah, unfortunately, sales of 1 3/4 stories there just weren't that many available. So.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Nichols, did you still want to hear from the applicant in regards to their property? Because I think you have a blank value here. So do you want to talk about the recommendation, or do you want to hear from the client first?
I'm okay hearing the presentation of the applicant.
All right. Your presentation, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So, as someone asked here, why she didn't take examples from very, very close. I live at the border of two areas, 305 and 313. Now, 313 is very small, and they'll never find comparables over there because houses over there are very expensive. Those houses have the land all to the river. I mean, I put here, my house belongs to the next block, let's say. So let's say this is what the expensive house are, and mine is here, and basically belongs to this Cathedral Block. And on the Cathedral Block, all the houses are, and some of them are much better looking than my house, and comparable in age and comparable in everything. So they are in the realm of $210,000 value. And you can see, like, the expensive houses that are on the other block, the craftsmanship is different. Their look is different. They look luxury. Our houses look average. And that's, my land is not through the river. Their land is all the way through Cathedral, through the river. They have beautiful yards over there. But I belong to the Cathedral Block. Now, on the Cathedral Block, the house is built in 1910, and it has the stone foundation. And I have to recognize this house has potential. That's why we bought it. We bought for potential and for the area. But the conditions are reflecting the age of the building. It's built in 1910. And the floor on that basement is porous, so water comes all the time. No matter what here, there is water infiltration all over that floor. That basement is not habitable. It doesn't have any forced air. It doesn't have any heating. It doesn't have an egress window. It was just the foundation stones covered with some drywall. And for that reason, they said it's finished. Well, you can call that finished, but now the other problem is foundation. The foundation has big cracks in it, and I can see them from outside. There is a shift in foundation. There are big cracks in foundation, but I cannot see it from inside because I should take out the drywall, and it's just I have stuff there. I put some books, some things there. So for the moment, and this year has been pretty wet, and we've been lucky because I managed to undo that valve, the overflow, exactly at the moment it needed, the day it needed, because otherwise we'd been flooded. The next neighbor came to me saying, "Oh, I have a basement flood. Could you please come and help?" And I came, and right away I realized that was the problem, and I helped him with that. So we had problems with water in our basements this year. The roof is, we have to do the roof, but yeah, we have to do the roof very soon. And other than that, is that our property borders a back lane, and we have less privacy because of that. We have to wait until the city closed that back lane in order to get our cars out. There are a few disadvantages, but we love the house as it is. We'll try to fix it. It will take time though, because we have to. I tried to talk to some foundation people, but they didn't come just for an estimate, and they ask you questions that, like, what are you there? Why are you calling? Why are you? And they realize they're professionals. They'll realize that you need an assessment, basically. So they didn't come. They didn't come for the assessment. They were not interested. They'll come if I said, "Oh, I have a leak right away. Please come," and the water is, So they didn't come. I don't have an assessment for that.
Basically, you're after, according to your letter here, you'd be happy with the 216,000.
That's correct, because a jump from 205 to 237 is pretty brutal. And I accept, come on, property is rising value. We see that. I accept the normal. That's why I want to thank Jennifer for being normal, for being like a reasonable, because she could have comparison in 500,000 around that area. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Yeah, I will accept a normal rise in the normal realm.
Yeah, I thank you. We'll just see if Ms. Nichols has some questions for you. Nichols, the floor is yours.
So I just had some questions regarding the foundation. So, and I know you provided some photos showing from the outside some issues. So the foundation is there's a problem with the foundation. Is there evidence on the main floor of shifting or a foundation problem?
Yes, I can see you. I try to emphasize it in the photo. It's not in the straight line. The corner is shifted, and on the other side of the corner you can see also it's been a little bit shifted, and I'm worried about that. The former owner just put some foam and then they put some paint on top, so I couldn't realize it. but now in time, it starts to shift a little bit. And then in other places, there are big cracks. We have rodents, plenty of them every year. I guess more thing would be if I decide to take that drywall out and see what's behind that. I see big cracks in the foundation. Yes, I do see big cracks in the foundation. The foundation is not healthy, but it's a stone foundation, and it, as I read a little bit on the internet, it will need a certain technology using that cement that they used in 1910, which is different from our cement that we use today.
Okay. So, and I think you had mentioned that you had somebody out to take a look at the foundation.
I tried to, I went, but they didn't come. They just didn't come.
Oh, okay. They just didn't show.
They asked me some questions, and then, yeah, thank you, we'll come. They never showed.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that was the only company you contacted to come take a look? Okay. Okay. I think in light of the issues with the foundation and with some water coming in, I would recommend a reduction to $215,000. So that's the recommendation, Mr. Chair, that I'm going to make.
Are you in agreement, sir?
Yeah, I don't have anything to say. It's in the how much did you say?
215.
Yeah, that's great. That's a normal 5%.
We'll just see. Ms. McFadden, any questions?
I have no question.
Ms. Linkletter?
I have no questions, thank you.
All right. So the recommendation is on the floor, and you are accepting the recommendation?
Yes.
All right.
215. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's big. That's normal. Thank you.
That concludes the hearing. So thank you very kindly. You know the results already. So
yeah. Thank you so much.
Your presentation.
Have a great day.
Okay. Thank you. Right. And the next property we're going to go to is 500 Matheson Avenue. Come on forward to get you sworn in or affirmed, either one.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name. Mal. You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So we'll first hear from the assessor. So Ms. Nichols, whenever you're ready.
Okay. 500 Matheson Avenue. Roll number is 1407233800. This property is in the Jefferson neighborhood, 1.5-story home built in 1943 with an effective year built of 1963, 1,076 square feet of living area, a full basement which is finished, air conditioning, and a single detached garage. The lot size for the property for this property is 4,683 square feet, and the current 2023 assessed value is $269,000. So the first comparable that I have today is 328 Rupert's Land Avenue in the same neighborhood as the subject property, a 1.5-story built in 1948 with an effective year of 1958, living area of 1,050 square feet, full basement which is finished, air conditioning, and a single detached garage, lot size of 4,745 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for 328 Rupert's Land Avenue is $278,200. Comparable number 2 is 354 Rupert's Land Avenue, also a 1.5-story built in 1947 with an effective age of 1967, 1,050 square feet of living area, a full basement which is finished, air conditioning, and a single detached garage. The lot size for comparable number 2 is 4,745 square feet, and the time adjusted sale price for 354 Rupert's Land is $293,500. Comparable number 3, 472 Smithfield Avenue, 1.5-story built in 1950 with an effective age of 1970. 1,165 square feet of living area. This property is a little bit larger than the subject. Full basement, which is finished, air conditioning, single detached garage, and the lot size for comparable number 3 is 5,338 square feet. The time adjusted sale price was $302,400. And finally, comparable number 4, 627 Matheson Avenue, 1.5 story, built in 1949 with an effective year of 1964, 1,155 square feet of living area. So again, this property is a bit larger than the subject. Full basement, which is finished, central air conditioning, and a multiple detached garage, as opposed to the single detached that the subject has. Lot size of 6,715 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for 627 Matheson Avenue was $302,200. So I noted that comparables 1, 2, and 3 were in similar condition to the subject property based on the MLS photos. And comparable 4 at 627 Matheson Avenue would look to be in inferior condition to the subject property, but it is larger and has a multiple detached garage. So I think that accounts for that higher sale price there as well. So the sale prices were ranging from $278,200 up to $302,400. And the subject assessment is currently at $269,000, which is below the comparables that I was able to find today. So I do think that the comparable sales definitely support the assessed value for this property. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, do you have any questions of the assessor's presentation?
No, I think her presentation is
All
great.
right. Kirby?
I have no questions at this time. Thank you.
Okay. I see that there are some sales of the property. Ms. Nickel?
Yes, there were the most recent sale was went through November 2019 for $271,000.
So your information was retrieved from where?
From MLS.
Okay. Did anything strike you a little differently? That there was a sale in May and a sale in November, and it was $71,000 higher?
Did it strike me differently?
Any notation, or when you look at?
Oh, you're wondering why? So the first sale in earlier 2019, the upper level of this home was not finished. And then for the second sale, it was finished.
You look at any building permits?
There were no permits except for air conditioning in 2019.
All right. I thank you. Your presentation, sir?
Okay. I did some comparisons to two properties from the city of Winnipeg's list they have online. And I compared 10 properties. Don't really want to go through each one for you guys. You guys have copies of it?
Yes.
Okay, then I won't go far or use that. But I looked at very similar properties, very similar 1.5 stories, similar assessed land values. And I also found that an average sale price of the 10 that I have highlighted in there was about what I was currently paying, around $246,000. And then I have a list of all these properties I had that aren't highlighted on there, and the average house sale price, time adjusted sale price, was about $251,000. Now these are all comparable to my house, I feel, and they have everything that's about the same as mine. So that's one reason why I think my house should be reassessed.
Or are you looking at the one that says market region, 3 sales data? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
The market region.
So on Enniskillen and Kilbride and Leela and,
The ones I've highlighted, yes, those are what I have for the average highlighted houses assessed value. And then the next line down, all houses, time adjusted sales value. I took an average of all those prices, and it was 251,000 and some change. And if you look at the time adjusted sales for all those houses too, it's 247,000. Reasoning why I think my house should be reassessed at a lower rate. Then I also provided some pictures of my current house. And as you can see, and I don't know if you just want to look at the pictures, but I took pictures of my windows, my doors. They're all very, very old. That has anything to do with the valuation of a house, but it should be. I do believe I also overpaid for my house because the market is just so hard to buy a house these days. Also, I noticed on the property assessment of my house, it also shows me having a fireplace, which I took a picture. I have a mantle. There's like no actual fireplace there. So maybe we can get that changed too. And maybe that decreases the value of my house. I don't know. And yeah, that's all the evidence I really have today. Any questions?
I just have the odd question for you. Your purchase, are you the purchaser in the latter part in 2019?
Yes, in November.
So you paid 271,
I believe.
271. Was there a bidding war or anything like that going on, or?
There was a few people bidding on the house. Like me and my wife, and we had a small child. We have two now at the time, but we looked all over the city and there's bidding wars everywhere. We finally got that one, but I believe I overpaid.
What do you think the value should be for your property?
I think what it was assessed at, the most recent one, 246, was fair, but I would say 246 was fair. That's what I would have liked to have paid for the house.
All right, Mr. Nichols, questions of the applicant?
Yes, I do have a couple of questions. I'm just looking at this sheet. Well, first of all, I've made note of the fireplace, and I'll adjust that. That's not something I would expect to have a significant impact on the value, though, but it is always good to have correct information. So I'm just looking at the list of properties that you highlighted that you felt were comparable to your property. I notice a range in value, looks like a low of about 187,000, up to about 281,300. Is there something about your property that would make the value fall on the lower end of these sales? Because usually what I would find with sales is that, a property that sells for less usually has, say, for example, either a problem, like a foundation problem, or it's not renovated. It's in kind of original condition. Is your property renovated? Have there been renovations? Because
I have had no renovations since I moved in.
but when you purchased the property, had it been renovated?
I don't know. I don't know what the house looked like before. Like, I know they put an air conditioner in. That was as far as I knew. The kitchen looked like a decent kitchen. The basement, it's full basement, like in the sense that it's a big basement. Like you go downstairs, you got laundry and stuff. I got my kids play down there, but it's not really finished. Like there's plugs, but like there's forced heat, but it's not really finished. What does construed as a finished basement? So
finished, according to the definition that we use in assessment taxation, is either 2 out of 3 like kind of finishing. So either flooring and walls or flooring and ceiling or walls and ceiling. So 2 out of those 3 have to be done in order for it to be considered finished.
Like what's a finished wall? They just got like
Drywall or paneling or.
like it's wood paneling. There's no insulation on one side. I had to take it off because I had problems with some pipes, but there's nothing behind it other than concrete on one side, and then the floor is all concrete, and there's some paneling on the ceiling. It's like kind of spacey, but one side's completely open, if that makes a difference.
Yeah, so
In the front of my house, I did put in the pictures, like there's cracking. I don't know if that's foundation or just normal wear and tear on a house, but it is cracking in the front. And I do live adjacent to McGregor, which is kind of a busy street, so that could be a down sale on a sales point. It does get loud. There is a few rental properties around as well that aren't very pleasant. That could be a downside on the sales point as well, I think. Other than that.
okay. Yeah, so when we were talking about renovations before, I had made a note about something I noticed between when you purchased the property and the previous sale. And one thing I had noted was that the kitchen had been renovated. So the kitchen, the air conditioning, and the upstairs had all been, I guess, refinished between those 2 sales. So I think that's something that would probably bring up the value of your property in comparison to some of the lower end of the sales. But I think that's all the questions that I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Catherine?
Just to be clear, the assessor has said that between the early sale in April and the one in November, the upstairs has been finished. Newly now. Didn't include any pictures of it.
Oh, I didn't. I was confused by the letter, to be honest, of what you guys really wanted. I didn't take pictures upstairs. It's got carpet and some plugs. That's about it. It's, I guess, by definition of a finished basement, it's finished. It's got drywall. It's kind of curved. You can't walk.
Yeah, yeah. And that was all new that year?
I guess so. I don't know. It was there when I moved in.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all my question.
Thank you. Linkletter?
I have no questions of the applicant, but Ms. Nichols, you spoke to the renovations prior to the November sale.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the MLS listing for the house?
I don't have it in front of me. No, I
Okay.
had just made some notes about what I had noticed.
Okay. Did you write down anything in concerning the kitchen reno in respect to the finishings?
Let me just go back to my notes. No, sorry, I didn't get specific. I just noted that the kitchen was renovated and the upstairs was not finished.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions.
Go ahead, Linda.
And is the kitchen newly renovated? As of a few years ago.
I guess when I moved in, it was renovated. It's
Newer than
it's got like IKEA cabinets, and
okay.
so it looks like they're newish. Doesn't look that nice. It's kind of small.
New, like the countertops new.
I don't know if they're new, but like the cabinets definitely were probably newer. But I guess it was redone.
Either party wants summation? No?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
All right. Leave it with us. I thank you for your presentation, sir, and results very soon.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you. Does anybody have to move their car or anything like that, for parking? You okay? Okay. So we'll go to 475 Jefferson Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay, we have you either affirmed or sworn in and come on forward.
Okay, we should accept it.
Yeah.
Or you take a peek. You state your full name. You affirm that the evidence you're about to give this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Ready? So we'll first hear from the assessor. So Ms. Nichols, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So the subject property is 475 Jefferson Avenue. Roll number is 110200150000. This property is a 1.5-story home built in 1951, 1,372 square feet of living area, a full basement which is not finished, air conditioning, and a multiple detached garage. The lot size for the subject property is 5,408 square feet, and it does have 2 land influences, bus route, as well as light traffic. The current 2023 assessment value is $257,000. So comparable number 1, 362 Enniskillen Avenue, 1.5-story home as well, built in 1951, 1,221 square feet, smaller than the subject property, a full basement which is not finished, air conditioning, and a single detached garage as opposed to the multiple detached garage that the subject has. Lot size of 4,598 square feet, so it is smaller than the subject. And 362 Enniskillen Avenue sold for had a time adjusted sale price of $223,200. Comparable number 2, 232 Smithfield Avenue, a 1.5-story home built in 1949, 1,251 square feet of living area. So again, smaller than the subject property, a full basement, which is not finished, no air conditioning listed for this property. And it does have a multiple detached garage, same as the subject. Lot size of 5,218 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for 232 Smithfield Avenue was $263,800. Comparable number 3, 541 Smithfield Avenue. Again, a 1.5-story home built in 1949, 1,208 square feet, a full basement, which is not finished, a single detached garage as opposed to the multiple detached garage of the subject. Lot size 5,339 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for 541 Smithfield Avenue was $252,900. And finally, comparable number 4, 499 Jefferson Avenue, 1.5-story home built in 1947, living area of 1,235 square feet, smaller than the subject property again, full basement, which is finished as opposed to not finished for the subject, air conditioning, and a multiple detached garage. Lot size of 5,760 square feet. This property has the same land influences as the subject, bus route, and light traffic. And the time adjusted sale price for 499 Jefferson Avenue was $293,600. So looking at the range in sale prices of the comparables that is able to find, from $223,200 up to $293,600, I do feel that the 2023 assessment value at $257,000 is supported by the comparables. Thank you.
I thank you. Questions of the assessor?
Yeah, I do have question. Like only one question, like, could you clarify the words, the garage, it's written here, it's multiply. It's something between single and double?
So multiple garage is usually would be one that fits 2 cars. So it could be side by side or one in front of the other. Multiple would refer to the number of cars that can fit in the garage, the size of the garage.
Yeah, my garage has a little bit oversized, but you can put 2 cars inside.
So your garage, you feel is a single garage instead of a
It's
multiple?
not single, because single I would understand is only for one car, yes? But this garage has a little bit space. You can put the bench for the working, that's what was there. Bench and the space for the car.
Okay, yeah, I can make a note and have somebody go out to measure the garage and take a look at it.
I can measure, you can see measurement, but you for sure you can place two car in this garage.
Mm-hmm. Due to the size of the garage or because there's only a single door?
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, like would two cars fit in it if the door was big enough? Or
because I exchanged the doors are a little bit bigger, but you are not able to put two cars. Like I have a small car, the Toyota Scion, and if I place this.
Okay, ma'am, you're just starting to get into your presentation.
No, it wasn't my presentation.
Okay.
This one wasn't my presentation. It's only I wanted to clarify the words, and I didn't understand what my understanding was. The multiplies between single and double garage, but it seems that it's close to double garage.
So it's probably the best thing to do is I'll just make a note to look into the size of the garage and whether it should be categorized as a multiple or a single in the characteristics that we have for the garage. So without seeing it, I'm not sure.
Okay. Now, and another question is from these comparison houses, do you have any photos how the houses look inside? Yes, I tried to get on internet on the MRL sale list, but everything what I tried to find yesterday, it was expired because of the day. Did you look in these pictures of these houses inside?
Yes.
Like, because the value of the house depends on the upgrades of the house and how the house looks inside.
Right. Yes, for sure. I agree. So comparable number 1, 362 Enniskillen, I had made a note that it was in inferior condition to your home. And that was based on the older MLS listing photos. So that was assuming that you haven't done any renovations to your home since you purchased it in 2013. Comparable number 2 at 232 Smithfield Avenue, as well as comparable 3 at 541 Smithfield Avenue, I felt were in similar condition to your home. Again, assuming no renovations have been done since you purchased in 2013. And comparable number 4 at 499 Jefferson Avenue, I had made a note that this property was in superior condition to your property. Again, assuming that no renovations have been done.
Yeah, but there is no pictures to compare, yeah?
No, I don't have any pictures of those properties.
Thank you. Thank you. That is.
Thank you. Ms. Linkletter, questions?
Yes, Ms. Nichols, do you have the MLS listings on your comparables?
I don't have the listings in front of me, no.
Okay. So when you're talking about the condition of these properties, you have notes?
I've made notes, yeah.
Okay. Can you just speak to comparable 4? You said that it was a superior property to the subject.
Right.
Do you have any detail on that?
No, I didn't really write much more than that, but that would have been based on the level of renovation. So either superior materials were used or just more renovated, more of the home renovation.
Okay, then I'm just curious as to why the effective is still 1947, which is the year built.
Yeah, sometimes there are a lot of sales that go on in the city of Winnipeg, and we don't have time to look at every single sale. So sometimes one or two will kind of get away from us. So this is one that I think that we haven't had a chance to look at.
Okay. Thank you. That's all my questions.
Thank you. Ms. McFadden?
I don't think I have any further questions at this time.
I thank you. Ms. Nichols, I just noticed that comparable, you have some old sales in here, which is, you know, number 2, 3, and 4. They were sold in 2018, and the most, you know, close to the V-Day is sale number 1. But I'm just wondering about, I know Jefferson is like a bus street and it's very busy, but I see that comparable number 4 is it's the highest, which is on the subject street, and it's close to the subject, probably, you know, very close to the subject. So I'm just wondering why the other comparables are so low compared to number 4.
I think probably just due to the condition of the homes. So like I had mentioned earlier, I had made a note that comparable number 4 was kind of the superior comparable. So this is like, you know, the most renovated comparable, and comparable 1 is the least renovated. So I think that's kind of the difference. That's the main reason for the difference in the sale prices there.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry. Also, comparables 1 and 3 have single garages. Comparables 2 and 4 have multiple. So that would have an impact on the value as well.
All right. I thank you. We're ready for your presentation.
As you notice, the comparable is very hard to compare, because if you don't see what's inside, it's basically hard to compare. What I did with the
can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yeah.
I don't think we have any material, because our secretary had mentioned that.
Just might need to refresh it. You just might need to refresh your screen.
Okay.
Or open and close it again.
I'm sorry.
You might just need to open and close it again.
Up top here. Here. Okay. Maybe show me. Oh, it's right. Yeah. Yeah, but I just couldn't get it. No, we're open. So wait 1 second. No, I can't.
Try refreshing it again and then open it.
Where's the refresh?
Or you might have to close it and open.
Okay.
I saved it like I did last time.
You took 5 minutes.
All right. We're going to take about a 5-minute recess because we can't seem to open that. Okay, we'll call a hearing back to order, and the floor is yours, ma'am. Your presentation, please.
I apologize for that.
No,
It
it's
seems that
fine.
it's what I did in my presentation, what I prepared, because I also got this residential program review brochure, and every kind of the house, like the area, is presented here as a percentage of the increase in the value. I went on the website. On the website which was provided to me, and this is this copy with the houses. And this the website is the sales books prepared for the assessment and taxation. And I make a row in few houses where they are located on Jefferson. And I choose only Jefferson because I thought that Jefferson, it's my house on Jefferson. It's on the busy road on Jefferson. And I took the closer number, and it seems that the value which they were increased from, and I choose the houses which they were sold in 2020, because the value on my house for 2020, it was for the assessment for this year, for 2020, it was $220,000. And I choose these houses which they were sold in 2020, and I use the price which was prepared for the assessment value for 2023. And on this page, you have a value of the percent of increase of the value of the house on the Jefferson through based on this taxation sale books. And for example, 269 Jefferson Avenue, the increase of the value was only 4.4%. 322 Jefferson Avenue, it was 5.6%. And this 333 Jefferson, it was 2.5. 533 Jefferson, it was 2.5. 537 Jefferson, it was 6.3. And mine was 16.8, increase in the value. It was pretty significant increase in the value compared to the value of the other houses. I think it was too much. Do you have this paper?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and could you answer me for this question? Why is such much increase in my value compared to the increase of the value? The numbers are taken everything from your sales books. I didn't take from the market. I took from your sales book.
So, just to clarify, so the values.
And also, this book, the brochure says that average increase in the house, Old Kildonan and North, what was this? Old Kildonan West, there is 9%. There is no separation here for the West Kildonan, but it doesn't seem such big either here.
So the numbers that you presented under the heading increase in price value based on assessment and taxation sales books, those numbers, so like if I just look at 269 Jefferson Avenue, the 214,000 minus 205,000, those numbers, where did those numbers come from?
These numbers come from the website which you gave me here on the letter, and it's called sales books, and it's called, this is assessment and taxation sales books value.
Oh, you're calculating the difference in the time adjustment. Is that what this is? This is the time adjusted sale price?
Yeah, because it's written here, and the next letter which you sent to me, you said it's written there that in the sales books reference made to time adjusted sales price means that the sales price of the property adjusted to reflect the changes in the real estate market to a market value date of April 1st, 2021. That's what we are talking about here. For the assessment value for 2023,
right,
taking the value from the April 1st, 2021.
Okay, so you've calculated what you've calculated is the time adjustment. You've taken the time adjusted sale price and the non-time adjusted. Is that what you calculated?
I calculate time adjustment. It seems that the time adjustment is given for the reason for the value of the property on April 1st, 2021.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So So the first one, 269 Jefferson, sold in 2020, and had a 4.4%.
Sold in 2020 because my property value from 2020 was 220,000. Yes. Therefore, to compare some numbers, I took all the properties sold in 2020, like not all, the closer to my house.
I see. Right. Okay. So we don't know the exact month that these properties sold, but each of them sold at some point in 2020. And so from whatever month they sold in 2020 to April 1st of 2021, these are the increases as calculated from the time. Okay, I understand. Yeah.
According to your, I don't know, suggestion, view, according to whatever taxation says.
Right. Yeah, I understand. I just wasn't sure where the numbers are coming from. I understand now. Thank you. So I think one difference to note is that while these sales have occurred in 2020, your previous assessed value for your property for 475 Jefferson Avenue was actually a reflection of the market value as of April 1st, 2018. So actually 2 years prior to when each of these sales occurred. So the $220,000 was a reflection of the market value as of April 1st, 2018, and $257,000 is a reflection as of April 1st, 2021. So a 3-year difference there. So I think that at least partially explains the larger increase because we're looking at kind of different time frames.
Yeah, but there are two houses in 2018, and they don't have such value also. But maybe this is, but I don't know how to approach because this value is 2020 from the 2020 year.
Yeah. I guess the thing is, first of all, I don't know which month each of these properties sold in. So for example, 533 Jefferson Avenue could have sold in December of 2020, and then the time adjustment would be small because we're only bringing it to April 1st of 2021. Whereas 537 Jefferson maybe sold in May of 2020. So the time adjustment would be larger because we're bringing it forward, a longer period of time. So I'm not too sure. Not sure that I really could explain that. The difference in the average
data. But you presented the data for some reason, yes, to look people in the value of the property and analyze the value of the property.
Yeah, so we would look at at the sale price, not so much the difference in the actual sale price versus time adjusted sale price, but we would look to see what the property sold for. So, for example, 537 Jefferson Avenue sold for, by the looks of it, the time adjusted sale price was $276,400. 533 Jefferson sold for $285,000. That was the time adjusted sale price. 333 Jefferson sold for $199,900. So some questions that I would have about that is, what's the difference there? Are some of these properties renovated? Are some of them not renovated? Those would be some of the things I would be wondering about those sale prices.
Also the same question regarding your comparables, because we don't know exactly about this property much. We didn't see the photo, we couldn't compare either.
Yeah, so
and general information about the old Kildonan and West for the assessment value was only 9%, and my house is increased 18.9% from, you see there is, I think it's a very huge increase. It's not even comparable to the market value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I can't really comment specifically on the time adjusted percent for each of those properties. I can't really comment on that. So I'm not sure if that answers the question that you're asking, but.
What's that? Anything further?
I'm not, yeah, I do have some questions. So I guess my main question was regarding the condition of your home. Since you purchased the home in 2013, what kinds of renovations or upgrades have you done to the property?
I didn't do much renovation and only exchange bathtub, and I put the kitchen cupboard, but I don't have even counter top. Look, I took a photo. That's I wanted to compare all that because, I don't have much renovation done to this house.
Okay, so you have a new bathtub, but the rest of the bathroom is the same as it was?
There is no ceramic tiles around, no.
Okay, and then you replaced the kitchen cupboards, but you left the countertop as it was?
I took only the part of countertop and another part I put, like kind of wood. And I'm hoping that I'm going to collect money and do in the future, but I don't have even countertop on this.
Okay.
The same as it was year before we start the pandemic, because I have a hearing. And that time I figured out that I bought this house in 2013 until 2020. I paid taxes based on finished basement, but my house never had a finished basement. For these 7 years, I overpaid because it was standing that I have finished basement.
Okay, finished basement, right. But we got that fixed up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we got this in 2020, but for 7 years, I paid extra.
Right. Okay. Okay, I think that pretty much was all of the questions that I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
McFadden?
No, my question was about renovations.
Okay. All right, thank you. Ms. Linkletter?
Yes, good morning. Madam, so you purchased this home in 2013 and this is your primary residence?
Yes.
Okay. And so what assessment figure are you looking for?
I took those numbers which I calculated, but I'm not pretty sure because the assessment said me that the value from 2020 was done based on 2018. Therefore, I don't know how I should approach at this moment. I was looking, if you look on this taxation and sales books, it seems that some houses on the Jefferson, the increased value over 2 years was only 2.5%. And I thought that because I was overpaid taxes for 7 years due to information that my basement is finished and my basement wasn't finished, I thought that would be fair for me to put me on this low increase, 2.5%.
So do you have a number then?
Yeah, I do have. My number is 225,500.
So it is that number. Okay, thank you.
Either party wants summation?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, anything further?
No, thank you.
All right. I thank you very kindly for your presentation.
And I thank you very kindly and thank you for taking my evidence.
And results very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to 22 Lansdowne Avenue.
There, the applicant isn't present. The applicant is not present. And therefore, the next one on the docket, that would be number 9.
All right. We'll move that to the end then, Stefan, and we'll deal with that later. So we have 546 Magnus Avenue. So we'll have you sworn in.
Please state your full name.
Anderson.
You affirm that the evidence you're going to give in this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning. Thank you for your patience. Ms. Nichols, you can take us through this property.
Okay, so the subject property is 546 Magnus Avenue. Roll number is 1402010800. This property is in the neighborhood of William White. It is a two-story home built in 1986. Living area is 1,098 square feet. It has a full basement, which is finished. No air conditioning listed for the property and no detached structures. The lot size for the subject property is 3,568 square feet. And the current 2023 assessment value is $145,000. The first comparable that I have brought today is 504 Aberdeen Avenue. It is in the same neighborhood as the subject property. It is a two-story built in 2006, so it is newer than the subject. The subject is also an infill property, but just an older infill property. For comparable number one, the living area is 1,056 square feet. It has a full basement, which is finished, and it does have air conditioning, but no detached structures, same as the subject property. The lot size is 3,003 square feet. And the time-adjusted sale price for 504 Aberdeen Avenue was $181,200. Comparable number two, 317 Magnus Avenue, is actually a 1 3/4 story home built in 1921 with an effective age of 1966. So it is older, but it has had some renovations to kind of bring it closer to the level of the subject property. Living area is 1,246 square feet. It has a full basement, which is not finished. It does have air conditioning and no detached structures. The lot size is 2,466 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for 317 Magnus Avenue is $165,200. Comparable number three, 350 Aberdeen Avenue, is also a 1 3/4 story built in 1907. So again, older, but has an effective age of 1962. So some renovations have been done to bring the home closer to the level of the subject property. Living area is 1,080 square feet. Again, it has a full basement, which is not finished. So that's in comparison to the subject, which does have a finished basement. And air conditioning, but no detached structures, same as the subject property. Lot size is 2,933 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for 350 Aberdeen Avenue is $132,700. And finally, comparable for 487 Alfred Avenue is a two-story property built in 1913 with an effective age of 1953. So same kind of situation here. It is an older property, but has had some renovations. The living area is 1,344 square feet. So this property is larger than the subject property. It does not have a finished basement where the subject property does, and no detached structures for this property. And the time adjusted sale price for 487 Alfred Avenue was $152,800. So with sale prices ranging from $132,700 up to $181,200, and in consideration of the age of the subject property in comparison to the comparables, one of which is newer and the other three are significantly older, but with some renovations, and also in consideration of comparables 2, 3, and 4 not having finished basements, I do think that the assessed value at $145,000 is more than reasonable for this property. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions of the assessor, just their presentation.
Okay. I found out four of them comparable the house, and the property tax is more than what they sold the price, especially in the comparable the first one, and they built it 20 years younger than the house I got, and beside it they say had the finished basement, but I don't. And also they got the air condition, and they sold, the assess is a 1,096 thousand for the assessed value of that property, and they really only sell it 70,000 only. And so
right now you give me the assess the 145, so only about 25,000 less. But don't forget that house is 20 years younger, plus have the air condition. All these things, I think, so whatever you assess the value is cheaper than the what we really can sell the price. That's I found out. And more so some because the location, even the brand new house and one of the ones that only 2-store, much better than looking than the 5 or 6 nice a brand new house. They only sell it for 249,000 only. So and if especially the one I got in the last year, suddenly only I paid the pump test after a few months, and the October suddenly say I need my pump test increasing 58%. That's a wow. Try to jump out that much. That's a lot. And beside it, what I done is just I go to Applicant and buy the kitchen cabinet, replace it, and that bring less than $2,000. But you're increasing that much my property test. I think the city is the one hand encourage people to do the renovation, take care about the house, looks better. But another thing, after you do it and they increasing 58%, that's a little bit too much. And more so, I send out a lot comparable pie and whatever that thing probably you read it better than I talk since my English is not my first language, so let you digest with the material I submit it to your department.
So you mentioned about property taxes. Unfortunately, we don't deal with property taxes. We deal with assessments of the property. That's got a bearing on the property taxes, okay? But we have nothing really to do with property taxes. So all we can do here is talk about your assessment value.
But does mean the assessment value is that you give me the information, and more so I compare with all this information, and you assess the value of the house, the property tax more than what they can sell the price. And also a lot of nice location area, they assess the property tax only 100,000 something. This house, but they can sell it more than $500,000 because the location. Because the location we got it in the north end is the private number 2. So actually not too far from each number 1, number 2. So in the William right there. So it's everything is because the location doesn't matter what you ask me to assess the house, but sometimes you need to assess the house can sell in the market that much or not. And most I know your department is they assess the value of the house are lower than what we really can sell the house. But right now I just think is that's too much for me because the property tax too much.
I see that you've done a lot of homework and a lot of comparables, so what do you think the assessment should be of your house? The city's at 145,000. What do you think the assessment should be?
In the past, I paid 85. So if you want to increase, I think we want more than 100,000. That be fair to me.
Like I say, you've done lots of homework here.
Thank you. I hope that we work on that.
Yeah. Ms. Nichols, do you have any questions?
No, I don't think I do. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Linkletter?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Ms. McFadden?
I don't have.
Okay. Leave it with us and we'll give you results very soon.
I hope the result I expect it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you.
We'll go to 3125 Assiniboine Avenue, and I think the people are on Zoom, are they not? Oh, you're here. Yeah, okay.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Constantine George.
You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I'll do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
I thank you very kindly for your patience, sir.
Thank you very much.
We'll go let the assessor tell us about your property and how she valued it. So whenever you're ready,
Okay.
Ms.
Thank you.
Nichols.
Yeah, thank you. Need a minute here to get organized. Okay, the subject property is 3125 Assiniboine Avenue. Roll number is 075498600000. This property is in the neighborhood of Westwood, one-story home built in 1957, 1,031 square feet, full basement, which is not finished, no air conditioning, and a single detached garage. Assessed lot size is 7,830 square feet, and this property does have 2 land influences, bus route, as well as light traffic. The current 2023 assessment value is $202,000. So comparable number 1, 26 Bird Avenue in the same neighborhood as the subject property. Also a one-story built in 1960, 1,060 square feet, a full basement, which is finished, no air conditioning, and a single detached garage, same as the subject property. Assessed lot size is 5,892 square feet, so it is smaller than the subject's lot. And this property has a land influence of commercial adjacent. The time adjusted sale price for 26 Bird Avenue was $253,900. Comparable number 2, 19 Canoe Bay, same neighborhood as the subject property. A one-story built in 1968, 1,040 square feet, has a full basement, which is finished, air conditioning, and a single detached garage. Lot size of 5,509 square feet, and a land influence of commercial adjacent. The time adjusted sale price for 19 Canoe Bay was $304,700. Comparable number 3, 448 Olive Street, is in an adjacent neighborhood to the subject property, Silver Heights. It is a one-story built in 1956, 1,077 square feet of living area. The basement type for comparable number 3 is a slab foundation. So there is no basement for this property. So of course the basement isn't finished, does have air conditioning, and it has a single attached garage. The lot size for comparable number 3 is 5,861 square feet. No land influences on this property, and the time adjusted sale price for 448 Olive Street was $239,800. Comparable number 4, the last comparable that I brought today, is 311 Westwood Drive. This property is located in Kirkfield, which is an adjacent neighborhood to the subject property. It is a one-story built in 1960, 1,050 square feet, full basement, which is finished, air conditioning, and a multiple detached garage. The lot size is 5,832 square feet, and this property has several land influences, back lane, bus route, commercial adjacent, as well as light traffic. The time adjusted sale price for 311 Westwood was $260,900. So looking at the sale prices, which range from $239,800 up to $304,700, the time adjusted sale prices, I do feel that the assessed value of $202,000 for the subject property is definitely more than reasonable. Some notes that I had made in terms of condition, both comparables 3 and 4 were listed on MLS as needing TLC. There were no pictures at all provided for 26 Bird Avenue. So more often than not, that means that it's not in very good shape. And comparable number 2 was dated and didn't appear to have any upgrades. So I do think that these comparables more than support the assessed value for the subject property. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions of the assessor?
First of all, I'd like to ask you why we change in the last 2 weeks the comparable for the property, because you obtained same value of the assessment.
Why did I? Sorry, what did I?
So in 6th of July, before to start my evidence, I phoned the taxation department, and they give me another comparable, which I prepare my evidence, which I emailed Monday morning. So yesterday morning at around 10, I noticed different other comparable. So I don't know, because my presentation is kind of out of discussion, because we talk another properties, and I phone department, taxation department, and they mentioned they don't know why it was changed. So I'm curious to see if there are some reason to change the comparable from 2 weeks ago.
Well, it sounds like you may have spoken to one of my colleagues in the beginning of July. When I started looking at the properties for this hearing, I just go through and I choose my own comparables always based on the condition of the property, and I just always choose my own comparables. So I'm guessing that maybe the comparables that were provided to you were some that had been looked at previously, maybe, or just kind of the automatic computer generated comparables. I'm not too sure. These are the comparables that I
was concerned because you come with same assessment after the different properties. So I was curious, and my presentation was I had difficulty to make only this.
Is there another question there? I'm not sure.
Only this. I had only this.
That's it?
Okay.
Ms. Linkletter, questions of the assessor?
I have no questions at this time. Thank you.
Linda, questions of the assessor?
No, I have no questions.
I don't either. So we're ready for your presentation, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, and I apologize for my presentation because it's outdated based on the comparable. So I don't focus on the comparable 1, 2, 3, 4. So I focus on the condition of the house. So the house was built in 1957, 65 years old, and was bought in 1999 from an old lady, 90 years old lady, Andrushko. So since I bought the house, was installed a sump pump in 2000, and the interior was decorated 1960 style. The floor is covered with carpet. The house is country style with exterior wood siding, stucco, brick front. I want to in present in the house is living my mother-in-law, which is 92 years old lady with Alzheimer, and is living to my daughter, who is taking care about my mother-in-law. During the day, home care aide come from 9 to 5, and after this time, my daughter take care about my mother-in-law. I mention this because my mother-in-law can be removed from this house due to her condition with Alzheimer, because she know to go to bathroom, to go in front of the TV, and is very familiar with the location of the rooms and condition of the house. Property technical issue. The house was inspected by the city, I think a couple of years ago, and mentioned is true, the value of the house, of the property, it's in the land, not the house. The house has a big problem with the cracks on the foundation. In my presentation, I put some picture of the foundation. All interior walls and ceiling are cracks, and roof is sand. So based on this estimation, financial estimation, the house is very expensive to be repaired, as to lift the house and replace the foundation complete, and after this put back this. I approached this issue, and looks like it's around $150,000 only to lift the house, redo the foundation, disconnect all pipes, electrical, water, gas, and the company told me if the house is in good condition, it's worth it to redo the foundation. But unfortunately, this house is not very good condition, plus it's on layout from 1957, so it's not worth it to invest anything. So I remember previous assessment, the assessor understand this, and they say, okay, let's try to figure out how much to make assessment based on the land more than the house. And it was $175,000. So right now, I try myself, so it's not any house in same or similar condition with my house to be and was sold. Plus, in this area and in St. James, market number 5, no properties sell, only the land. So it's quite difficult. So I'm thinking the best way to consider the assessment value is based on the percentage of appreciation. So I'm thinking 10% appreciation for the land in this time would be more adequate and more correct from my point of view with this assessment. So around, let's say, $185, $190, $90,000 could be more adequate for the properties. So this is my presentation.
Thank you very kindly. Ms. Nichols, questions of the applicant?
No, I don't think I do have any questions. There's no sales represented. Thank you.
Ms. McFadden?
Yeah, the pictures you provided, these are of your house.
Yes,
yeah.
These are the pictures with
condition
the
of your
foundation and the walls and everything. So it's
Right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Linkletter?
I have no questions. Thank you.
I just have a few questions. Somebody's living in the house right now?
yes, my mother-in-law and my daughter.
And what sort of condition is the inside, other than like pictures that you've shown us and there's cracks, etc., but they can live there?
Yes, it's we vacuum, we clean every time because was based on the virus. You know, we have to protect my mother-in-law for this, so we restricted area. Plus, it's cleaning. So, but every maybe 3-4 days we have to wash the carpet and because you know the condition of my mother-in-law require this. So it's quite clear, and home care is coming, and this. But the problem is the cracks, and the weather produce the house to moving cracks. This summer we have another cracks based on the weather and foundation. So I mentioned that the condition is average inside, so it's clean everything. It's.
You had a structural engineer look at the house at all?
No, I come for because the house is old. They shifted on the south side. So I asked Avalon, and Avalon came and take a look, and they say they can't do this because there are so many cracks in foundation, so they don't do this. So based on the Avalon expertise, they say it's not worth it to ask an expert also because it's not. The floor is cracked, it's moving between the cracks, one side up, one down. So it's, I made some pictures, it's lots of cracks like this.
Have you had any evaluations done, either an appraisal or, through an agent come out or have a look at it? Or?
No, there was an inspector would come because I was in the past same issue with the assessment. And they come inspect and they agree because there are so many cracks on the foundations like this, the value of the house is not.
So basically what you're saying though is that the value to the land only.
Almost, yeah. Because to be honest, after I'm living in another place. After my mother-in-law will decide to go,
and
we'll put down the house or sell the land.
I think you stated that it would be around 180 to 190.
Yeah, something 185, 190. Yeah, okay. But I know it's 175, and the city has considered 202.
Yeah. Okay. Summation, either party. Ms. Nichols?
Yes, just in conclusion, I do think that despite the condition of the foundation in the home, I think this is still taken into account in the assessed value of $202,000. If you look at the comparables that I provided, especially comparables 3 and 4, which were listed as needing TLC and were in poor condition as well. And comparable 3 has a slab foundation, which is an inferior foundation to having a full basement. And the sale prices there, just about $240,000 and $260,000 for the time adjusted sale price. Looking at the assessed value of $202,000 for the subject, I do feel that those issues are already taken into account. This property is already valued quite low. Thank you.
Final words, sir? Anything further?
This is my presentation. I can compare the house with another which are sold. Because I have in my presentation the previous comparable, so always there are lots of renovation, lots of improvements, lots of windows replaced. This is 1957 windows, 1957 wallpaper on the walls.
All right, leave it with us. We have you sworn in, so I think we have another property here. Do we
Yes.
Not?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go to that 163 Harris Boulevard. So
the applicant has submitted additional evidence late.
no, okay, late.
They submitted earlier, and then they submitted an additional 3. If you're willing to accept it.
I understand you haven't really submitted stuff other than it was late, but if you I think you're okay. I'll accept that.
Yeah, yes, because the taxation department changed the comparable including this house. I don't have the time. So last night, late, I figure out the number. I don't.
So this is yours.
Based on the new comparable.
Okay.
This is an addition.
All right. So you know something, we're going to take a little, maybe a couple minute break so that everybody gets copies, and including the assessor. So we'll shut it down for a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
We are live.
Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order, and we will go through 163 Harris Boulevard. Ms. Nichols, whenever you're ready, you can take us through the property.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so 163, the subject is 163 Harris Boulevard. Roll number is 0707500600. This property is a 4-level split built in 1960. Living area is 2,434 square feet. Full basement, which is finished. 1 full bathroom, 2 half bathrooms, a shower, air conditioning, and a built-in attached garage. The lot size for the subject property is 11,398 square feet, and it does have a land influence of golf course. The current 2023 assessment value for the subject property is $493,000. So the first comparable that I have today is 23 Prairie View Road. This property is in Booth neighborhood area, which is an adjacent area to the subject property. It is also a 4-level split built in 1967. Living area 2,751 square feet. Has a full basement, which is finished, air conditioning, and a single attached garage. Lot area of 7,378 square feet and a park land influence. And this property had a time adjusted sale price of $414,300. Comparable number 2, 60 Kirby Drive, also a 4-level split built in 1967, 2,589 square feet, full basement, which is finished, air conditioning, and a multiple attached garage. Lot size of 11,559 square feet, so that's much closer to the subject than comparable 1. This property has a few land influences, external corner, park, and a Sturgeon Creek influence. The time adjusted sale price for 60 Kirby Drive was $423,200. Comparable number 3, 275 Booth Drive, again in an adjacent neighborhood. 4-level split built in 1963, 2,170 square feet, full basement, which is finished, a multiple attached garage, lot area of 7,097 square feet. This property has a few negative influences, bus route, commercial adjacent, internal corner and light traffic. And the time adjusted sale price for 275 Booth Drive was $376,700. And finally, comparable number 4, 2502 Pinewood Drive, again in an adjacent neighborhood, 4-level split, built in 1959, living area of 1,979 square feet, a full part area basement, which is not finished, no air conditioning and no garage. The lot size for comparable number 4 is 6,610 square feet, it's quite a bit smaller than the subject. And the time adjusted sale price for 2502 Pinewood Drive was $362,000. So I know that a lot of these comparables are not in the same neighborhood as the subject property. Unfortunately, there were not a lot of sales available of 4-level split properties, especially ones as large as the subject property at almost 2,500 square feet. So I did have to go outside of that neighborhood area to find properties that were at least closer in size. And so these are the best comparables that I was able to find in that regard. So the sale prices range from 362,000 up to 423,200. So there's, some consideration to be given for variation in the size of the comparables. But I did still feel, after looking at the comparables, that the value for this property was definitely on the high end. And so I am going to recommend bringing the value down to $425,000. Thank you.
There is a recommendation to reduce the property to $425,000. Are you in agreement? Or do you want to still continue to?
So is a recommendation 425?
Yes.
Yeah, I accept.
You accept it? All right. And Ms. Nichols, I just want to know the reasoning behind it.
Behind the recommendation?
The recommendation?
Yeah, just based on the sales that I was able to find. The subject property is assessed at $493,000. And the highest sale that I was able to find is for just under $425,000. When I look at the characteristics of that property, other than being in an adjacent neighborhood, it is very similar to the subject in terms of age built, size, finished basement, garage, land influences, and lot size. So I feel that that would be a more appropriate value for this property.
I thank you kindly. And with that, I think concludes our hearing. So you know the results.
Then your assessment will be 425.
Correct.
Right. Thank you.
All right, we will receive a letter.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too, and enjoy the lunch.
Thank you. Okay. Stephen, we'll go to 30 Dallas Road.
Yep. I'm just admitting the applicant.
Okay.
Anna Parental, are you there?
I'm sorry.
The lunch.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you. Dallas?
No,
Oh, 425. 425. Stephen? We'll go to 30 Dallas Road.
I'm just admitting the applicant.
Okay.
Oh, if you don't mind closing your YouTube stream.
Yeah, I just closed it. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right. Stephen, we'll have her either affirmed or sworn in.
Madame Parental, please state your full name.
Anna Parental.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madame. We will first hear from the assessor. So, Ms. Nichols, whenever you're ready, you can take us through this property.
Okay. The subject property is 30 Dallas Road. Roll number is 070629800000. This property is in Silver Heights. It is a one-story home built in 1954. Living area of 936 square feet. Has a full basement, which is finished, air conditioning, and a single detached garage. The lot size of the subject property is 5,241 square feet. And the current 2023 assessment value is $299,000. The first comparable that I brought today is 80 Beaver Bend Crescent, also in Silver Heights. It is a one-story home built in 1954, 936 square feet, a full basement which is finished, air conditioning, and a single detached garage. And this home also has a sunroom. The lot size for comparable number 1 is 5,388 square feet, and the time adjusted sale price was $326,800. Comparable number 2, 49 Beaver Bend Crescent, again, also in Silver Heights, also a one-story home built in 1954, 936 square feet with a full basement, which is finished, air conditioning, and a single detached garage. The lot size of 49 Beaver Bend Crescent is 4,997 square feet, and the time adjusted sale price was $280,400. Comparable number 3, 18 Beaver Bend Crescent, located in Silver Heights, again, a one-story home built in 1954, 936 square feet, a full basement, which is finished, air conditioning. This property does not have any garage. The lot size of 18 Beaver Bend is 4,998 square feet, and the time adjusted sale price was $282,800. Comparable number 4, the last comparable that I brought today, 434 Davidson Street, again in Silver Heights, a one-story home built in 1955, 936 square feet of living area, full basement, which is finished, no garage on this property again, and the lot size of 434 Davidson is 5,788 square feet. The time adjusted sale price was $274,700. So the comparables that I brought today are all very similar in terms of characteristics, similar home types, same area as a subject, year built, size, finished basement. Comparables 1 and 2 have a single detached garage, same as the subject. Comparables 3 and 4 do not have any garage at all. So something to take into account when looking at those sale prices. The sale prices ranged from $274,700. So again, that's comparable 4 without a garage, up to $326,800 for comparable 1. And probably the most notable difference there is that comparable 1 has a sunroom. So I think that looking at the sales that I was able to find and the time adjusted sale prices of those sales, considering the added value of having a garage for comparables 3 and 4, I do think that the 2023 assessment value of $299,000 is supported by the comparable sales I was able to find. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions of the assessor? Ms. Gagnon?
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Absolutely. Just in regards to what you've heard from the assessor. Any questions? Go ahead.
Yes. So on the sales report, it says that our property has 2 half baths. Is that what the number 2 there on it? What it says? Is that what it means?
Yes.
So we don't have 2 half baths. we have 1, I guess, technically. And even when we bought the house, our realtor even said that's not even really a half bath, because what it is basically a toilet in an unfinished part of our basement with like concrete and unfinished walls in the corner where the laundry room is. So it's not even really a full half bath. There's no sink down there. We don't even really use it. Sometimes my kids will use it if they don't want to run upstairs. So I don't even consider it a half bath, but I understand though that it technically would be a half bath, but we only have 1 though, so not 2.
Okay, so just to confirm, one of the half bathrooms that we have listed it doesn't have a sink. It's just a toilet. It's just a toilet in the in unfinished corner of our basement. So okay. Yeah. It is enclosed though? Like it's enclosed by walls? Yeah. Like I guess technically, yeah, the part. Yeah.
Anything further?
No, that was my only question about that. I don't know how that would have been 2 half baths in our house.
Anything else? Any more questions of the assessor? No,
not about this part. No.
Ms. Linkletter?
Yes, Ms. Nichols, I'm just curious about your comp 2 which is on Beaver Bend, because you've got an adjusted sale price of 280,000, which is 20,000 less than the subject property. So I'm just wondering, is there anything in the MLS that can explain that number?
I had made a note of the condition of each of these properties. Comparables 1, 2, and 3, I had noted, no to few renos, nothing really notable, possibly a new bathtub for comparable 3. Comparable number 4 had some updated flooring, but wasn't none of these comparables are totally, completely renovated homes. But no, as for why comparable 2 sold for less, I couldn't really say. I think just variation in the market or something that is not evident in the photos on MLS.
Okay. Thank you. That's all my questions.
I thank you. Ms. Nichols, I see that the subject and all the comparables are 936 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Very unique. Anyways, I have no further questions. So, Ms. Gagnon, the floor is yours in regards to your presentation.
Okay. So I think I had sent in an email that I had received last fall. So I guess we bought our house in 2016, and just in my opinion, we overpaid. It was my first time buying a house. My parents never had a house. We lived on reserve, so we don't really have anybody to learn from. So I think we overpaid initially. And one of the things that we learned when we moved in the fall, that it was our house is really cold on the outer walls. There's not enough insulation, and our neighbors and people who we've had come and look at the house have all said that the insulation needs to be replaced on all the outside walls. So right now what we do in the winter time is usually use space heaters in our 2 upstairs bedrooms. So the 1 bedroom here and then our main bedroom, but we can't use space heaters in both bedrooms, otherwise it'll trip the breaker. Which is really hard right now because we have our newborn and my dad who has some health issues. He stays with us sometimes in this room, and so we have to manage that in the wintertime, and who gets to have a warm bedroom. So that's one of the things that I think lessens our value of our house, because we did have this past winter. The reason why we got an appraisal last fall, we went to the bank to see if, when we got our mortgage renewal, we were going to do a home equity mortgage, I guess it's called. And I didn't really want to do it because I didn't think that we had enough equity in our home. And so the appraisal came back at 280, which didn't leave us room for any equity in our home to get a significant amount to do any repair, to do the insulation on the outer walls of our home. And we had companies. We had some companies set up this to come and give us a quote to replace or put more insulation in the house. One of them came and he said that they don't, what the insulation that they do, which was blown in insulation, I guess, or he said that they couldn't do it on our house because of the age. And they recommended us that we would take the siding off and the stucco on the outside of our house and replace the insulation that way. And he said that that would cost anywhere from 25 to 30,000 to do that. And he said usually that doesn't even increase the value in the home. So he said, don't do that unless you're actually going to stay in the house for 20 or more years. Otherwise, you won't see a return on the value. So we didn't go that way, not because we weren't going to stay here for 20 years, but we just don't have that kind of money. I'm on mat leave right now. So that was one of the issues. The other issue, and I think when I was looking at the comps, like number 49 Beaver Bend is just like across the street here from me, and I can see them. And I do think it's very similar to that house. Our house is very similar to their house. But they, one of the other things that we have to repair is our driveway. Half of our driveway is torn up from the previous owner, and our steps have to be replaced as well. Like we made a temporary fix on them because we had our mail stopped because the mailman wouldn't come onto our steps anymore because they were too broken. So we had a concrete company a couple of weeks ago come and give us an estimate, and that to replace the steps, it's going to be anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000. And then the driveway, he said it would be anywhere from $15,000 to $16,000 to replace. And number 49 Beaver Bend, their driveway is nice, not like our driveway. So yeah, so I think that was my arguments about the value, the assessed value, I guess.
Do you think the assessment should be?
I was thinking it was more comparable to like number 2 or 3 or 4, where it's around $300 per square foot. So that would I would be like around 280, 285. With what my guess would have been, even last fall when we had the appraiser come in, I thought it would be around 280, 285, I thought, hopefully, but it came in at 280 with the appraiser with the bank.
All right. Ms. Nichols, questions?
So I just wanted to clarify. Sorry, I've been trying to make some notes.
Yep.
Did you mention about like renovations that have been done to the home since you purchased?
We replaced the furnace the first year because it was cold. Like our furnace was from the 60s, I think, or 70s. I can't remember. So we did replace the furnace and the air conditioner. And then we replaced the roof. The roof needed to be, we had a leak in 2017, I think, or 2018, I think it was. And so we had to replace the roof that year.
Okay. All right. So not really any renovations to the inside, kitchen, flooring, bathroom?
No, we haven't. Hopefully one day, but just not right now. We don't have the funds for that. It's on our wish list, but not there yet.
Okay. I think that's all the questions that I had. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ms. Linkletter?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Linda, questions? I don't have any. Either party want summation at all?
No, I think I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Gagnon?
Oh, sorry. Are you
Anything further?
No, sorry. No, nothing for me, but I think you had my name wrong. My last name is Peranto. I don't know if you were saying that or I'm hearing wrong.
It's got here Gagnon.
We're looking at item
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Right?
Yeah, Peranto.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Ms. Nichols, just one question. What is the average increase in that area for residential assessment wise? Do you have that figure?
I'm not sure if I have that on me. My thing kind of timed out on me here. Did you want me to find that information for you?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Patino, thank you for your attendance. So we'll give you results very soon.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, number 53, Birkenwood Place.
I'm not sure if I.
Stephen?
I'm just out of
Okay.
the applicant.
Okay. Just want to make sure they're there.
And Christelle, can you unmute and just confirm your audio is working?
Thank you.
And if you can turn off your YouTube stream as well.
Number 53, Birkenwood Place.
I'm not sure if I.
Okay. We'll have you sworn in or affirmed, either one.
Madame Gagnon, please state your full name.
Christelle Delisle Gagnon.
You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, or it's getting close to the afternoon, so we'll let the assessor go through your property and then you may ask questions. Ms. Nichols, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. So 53 Birkwood Place, roll number is 07063423000. This property is in Jameswood. It is a one-story home built in 1957. It does have an effective year built of 1977, 988 square feet of living area, slab foundation type, without, of course, a finished basement, one full bathroom, air conditioning, and no garages, no detached structures. The lot size of the subject property is 5,518 square feet, and the 2023 assessment value is $270,000. Comparable number 1, 22 Cornwall Boulevard, also located in Jameswood, same with the subject property. A one-story built in 1957 with an effective year built of 1977. Again, 988 square feet with a slab foundation, not finished, air conditioning, and no detached structures. The lot size of 22 Cornwall Boulevard is 5,200 square feet. Does have a school influence, and the time adjusted sale price of comparable 1 is $269,800. Comparable number 2, 49 Silverwood Bay. Again, same neighborhood area, the subject property. Also a one-story built in 1957 with an effective year built of 1977. Living area 1,040 square feet. This one is a little bit larger than the subject property. Slab foundation. No air conditioning, no detached, no garages. The lot size is 5,599 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price of 49 Silverwood Bay was $262,600. Comparable number 3, 2 List Towel Bay. Same neighborhood as the subject again, also a one-story built in 1957 with an effective year of 1977, 1,040 square feet of living area, slab basement type, air conditioning, and no detached garage. Lot size is 6,001 square feet, just a little bit larger than the subject property. And the time adjusted sale price was $270,500. And finally, comparable number 4, 2183 Ness Avenue, also in Jameswood, same as the subject property, one-story built in 1957 with an effective year built of 1977, 988 square feet with a slab basement type, air conditioning, and no detached garage. The lot size for 2183 Ness Avenue is 5,498 square feet. And this property does have 2 negative influences, fast route and heavy traffic. This is on Ness Avenue. The time adjusted sale price for comparable 4 was $240,200. So when I was looking at the sale prices for these comparable sales that I brought today, I see a range from $240,200, which is a property that does have some negative influences, the heavy traffic, up to $200,000 and well, all the other three are pretty close to 270,000. And so I do think that the assessed value for the subject property at $270,000 is supported by the comparable sales that I was able to find. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions of the assessor? Ms. Gagnon?
I think you're muted, actually.
Pardon me?
Oh,
There we go. Okay. What does effective build date of 1977 mean? Just out of curiosity.
It just reflects that some renovations have been done to the property. So typically could be replaced flooring, new kitchen, cupboards, countertop, upgraded bathroom,
Okay.
perhaps electrical upgrades. Depends on the property, but.
Great. I don't have this in front of me, but what is the average increase that's happening in Jameswood right now?
I actually don't have the average increase sheet right in front of me right now. Did you want me to find that information for you?
I think I recall that it, like St. James was about 12% or something like that, and it was the highest in the city. Does that ring a bell?
It could have been. Again, I don't have it in front of me, so I can say for
Sorry.
sure.
Those are my only two questions at this time.
Like letter questions?
Yes. So all your comparables, along with the subject property, Miss Nichols, are on slabs,
Yes, that's right.
and they're all in the Jameswood area.
Yes, they are.
So, would you say the Jameswood area is unique?
Honestly, I'm not that familiar with that area, but generally speaking, it's, if you can, it's better to look at comparables in the same area of the subject. So that was definitely my goal there.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Okay. Carrie, we never
Yes.
caught you what you asked. Could you ask that again, please?
Sorry.
Carrie.
I just asked Miss Nichols. All these properties are on slabs, along with the comparisons and the subject property. And I just asked if this was unique to Jameswood.
All right. Thank you. Linda, questions of?
No, I don't have any further questions.
I don't have any either. So, Ms. Gagnon, you can take us through your property and tell us what your assessment should be.
You know what? Actually, I think I have more questions than anything else. This is my first time participating in the assessment process, so I wasn't too sure how this was all going to go. So when I'm looking at the comparables, those properties, are their tax assessments going to be higher than their sale value, or is that what we're basing my assessment?
Unfortunately, we can only deal with the sales data.
Okay, that's fine.
Right, so that's your starting point when you start looking at these things to say my assessment is higher than my neighbor's, and that's how you really get going in this. Okay, but basically we do not compare assessments, mainly because they could be wrong or they could be too high, too low, and maybe under appeal, and therefore we have to deal with a valuation date, a B date of April 1st. 2020 and that is reflective of the market value of your property. So that's how that is determined, and that's how the city present their case.
Okay. So based on the data that you've sent me, the average square foot price is $257.2. Mine is valued at $273.68 or 08. I don't have it right in front of me this second. Can I ask why mine is higher, or is that again not an appropriate question for this time?
We're having a tough time. There's a meeting going on in the other room, and we can't really hear that well. So can you speak up a little louder, if at all possible, and we can.
Sure. The only thing that I'll say for my proposition is that based on the information that you've sent me with the comparables, my valuation seems to be higher than what you've shown me here. So I was hoping that I could get some kind of average of what those comparables were instead of being the higher end of the comparables.
So are you referring to the sales prices, or are you asking about the assessed values of those properties?
The sales prices.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I guess maybe one of the biggest things that can influence the value of a property, if the characteristics are very similar, is the condition of the property. So would you say that your property has had some renovations in terms of, kitchen, flooring, bathroom? Would that be fair to say?
Flooring, yes, but the flooring was fine before. It was just not my taste. So I don't know if it's really an upgrade or not, but yes, the flooring.
Okay. And then the kitchen, so is the kitchen, was it renovated at some point? Just not since you purchased it, kind of thing, or is it original to the home?
It would have been renovated when all of those homes got renovated. I think that a company bought them and did them all at the same time, because from the MLS listings that I'm looking at, unless somebody has truly renovated it, they pretty well all look the same.
Okay, so it's had a renovation at some point, but you're not sure when.
Correct.
Okay, and same with the bathroom?
Yes. Well, the bathroom, I don't know if it's been renovated.
New vanity, new bathtub, new flooring?
Not new since I've purchased it. And again, I think it was original to the remodel when those homes were purchased and kind of fixed up for resale.
Yeah. So not from 1957. Like it's not that.
Not from 1957. No. No, they used to be military houses. A company bought them out, renovated them, sold them. So from that time, that would be the original appliances and things like that from that point.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think that's all that I was kind of wondering.
Okay. That's all I had as well. Like, I thank you for letting me participate in this process.
We'll just see. Ms. Linkletter, do you have any questions of the applicant?
I don't have the applicant, but I would like to redirect to Ms. Nichols.
Okay.
So Ms. Nichols, could you tell us, I think it was already asked by the applicant, the percentage increase in this neighborhood?
No,
from the previous.
Yeah, unfortunately, the screen that I had up with that kind of timed out, so I could try and get it back, but it would take me a few minutes.
Okay. And again, in the MLS listings, or I'm assuming you read them on your comparable properties.
Yeah.
Did they give any clue as to the condition of the properties?
Yeah, so I had made some notes. Comparable one, it looked like the kitchen and bathroom, just based on the style, had maybe been renovated at some point in the 80s. And the home had maybe had a flooring upgrade. Comparable number two, I said some flooring was replaced, but again, the kitchen and bath looked pretty original. Comparable number three looked a little bit more updated, I would say, and same with comparable four. So it looked like those two looked kind of older upgrades, but more recent maybe than comparables 1 and 2, just based on the photos and the notes that I made.
Okay, and so when you're talking about upgrades for 3 and 4, is that including kitchens and bathrooms?
Yeah, I wrote kitchen, bath, flooring.
Okay. And Ms. Gagnon, I just have a question for you. Your assessment is sitting at $270,000, and what number are you looking for?
260, 775.
Sorry, 260?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's all my questions.
Okay. Linda, do you have any questions?
I don't have any further questions.
Right. Either party wants summation at all or anything further? No? All right.
That was all. Thank you.
Leave it with us and results very quickly. So thank you for your appearance by Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to number 40 Lumsden Avenue.
So the applicant had a time constraint and they're unable to attend the meeting. We will be rescheduling that one, I believe. We will be rescheduling that meeting, I believe.
Okay.
The applicant wasn't able to attend.
Okay. So that takes care of that. Ms. Nichols, we'll be recessing to deliberate all the other items we're in on the docket. So bear with us. We're going to shut it down, and there's some little cleanup, and then we'll come back to you in about 2 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. We'll call the hearing back to order. Ms. Nichols, we're going to deal with the no-show 142 Birch Bark Bay. So you can briefly read the roll number, etc., and just a little bit about the property.
Okay. All right, I'll just pull that up here.
Item number 2.
Okay, yeah, I have it here now.
Okay.
Okay, so 142 Birch Bark Bay, roll number is 05001365-100. The current assessment value for this property is $313,000. I have provided 4 comparable properties here, which I do feel support the assessed value of this property. And so I would just ask that the assessment is maintained at $313,000.
Any contact at all from the individual?
Okay, let me check my notes. No, I was not in contact with the owner of Birch Bark.
Any questions? None? All right. We'll go to number 22 Lansdowne. Ms. Nichols, whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right, 22 Lansdowne. 22 Lansdowne Avenue. Whoops, where did that go? Okay, 22 Lansdowne Avenue. Roll number is 1407030600. This property currently has a 2023 assessment value of $182,000. I did speak with the owner of this property. And so after reviewing the comparable sales that you see in front of you, and considering some of the differences between the comparables and the subject property, I did feel that the value should come down. And so I was emailing with the homeowner and we agreed to a reduction to $160,000. That's just based on the comparables that I found, as well as comparables that the owner sent to me. Yeah, so I'm recommending a reduction.
And this was conveyed to the owner?
It was, yes.
Okay. And you agreed?
Yes, so we agreed on that value, and unfortunately the owner was not able to attend the hearing, but I just let them know that I'd make my recommendation and let them know that we were in agreement on the value.
Panel members, any questions?
No.
All right.
No questions.
I'm sorry?
No questions, sorry.
We have heard all the scheduled items and this hearing is now adjourned.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Ms. Nichols, thank you very kindly. Great presentation and have a great day. Good job. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah. I hope we all have a good day too. Bye.